sunset clause for special import levy, I know SIL, was also extended and no so never ended 2025 March. Wabaye was extended as out to the 3%. I know ended 2028. It is tax bia o ka say we be here through obiano. What's up from kwachi kwai as the another tax ya baba be shim. It you ka say when you tax bia through one more and you no correct because what's the another tax as baba be shim. It Robin Peter to pay Paul na ye can. Na say taxes na we free one what's the bia baba count. It is still an Ghana for do na ho chire wo because ya bia ye koso ye busu a ye tua other taxes and ye expect say sa taxes ni nyina ni wo. It ne budget na odi aba ne de me mato ni din say eyadanko dada do budget enya bia ye budget bia e di hope eni sunsu so papa bia e de bro ma especially o hwe job site a o say nyame ya adom a o mo be create job na o say next year enya bia nurses for almost 150,000 na o mo tifie no o betimi afo mo adwum meanwhile nso no o promise 24-hour economy enti ade na still o say ka kire say wuntimi farmer for adwuma wo me da say
that na na say na metie me nua no but match strati for some fan channel because only premise ne say onye obi a or have the finance and as accounting background no me so metie me this accounting background no I am a pharmacy person na me say with atofos and there you don't need to be an account person the hands of be kan you betie and you understand the kind or start say with women's bank remember me nua ntia say Ghana ya adopted the be a friend accrual accounting banking service and as accounting model said that yenye a single year budget reporting the emphasis say be you see a person project ye no across the number of years say be 2 years 4 years sana Ghana ya adopted both on time near time you know and with the women's bank no obi bia nim say for you to establish bank no the minimum banking adequacy for you to put that about 400 million. So if the finance minister appear on the floor of parliament in the 2025 can budget that catch you say or do allocated 51 billion Ghana cedis say yan fanye women's bank na chere say ye the year we call the preparatory work, which means that we are not reporting a single year what items ye multi-year both to the long and short term medium. In 2025 budget no we were very specific so many need here and that is one thing on team for the last time say we were specific say 2025 budget was for 2-year projects. So as and when I finish no there's what called cost builder, so the scope of the work expand. So 2025 yeah look common many do 2025 yeah looking at budget say 51 million Ghana cedis for women's bank ye the year preparatory on the visibility people will ask you the architects you need so you cannot get the actual cost then you begin to start execution until this year while making 401 million Ghana cedis which is the standard requirement as far as the banking sector.
But the 51 million as per allocated in the budget was not expended.
It was used for preparatory work. What? I am telling you, see, say who is student of parliamentary procedures how. I've listened to the parliamentary debate. When Adongo rose, he explained this in their own members who could not rebut. Or catch them say, you know that Ghana we don't do a single year budget itinerary. We do multi-years. So once we allocate here, you allocate at the qua, and yes, especially in the case of this big push like this, you allocated 13.8 billion Ghana cedis last year, and it was for 2-year period. So you don't expect say you better release 13.8 billion in the year 2025. In 2025, you release 7.5. This year, no, yes, I release other one, but the scope of the work now then are expanded. Well, look, I say Kumasi Expressway. They are yet to tender in the contract, so it will expand. Enter finance minister has allocated 30.3 billion. Say they call big push. This is what we do. We are stride knowledge and answer as far as Ghana budget they are concerned. That is the first premise to leave. Yes, I'm called 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy, you can say largely it was going to be driven by the private sector. 70%. Okay, into your banner say we a company, we're going to give you some meters that is going to read low in the night. What you now want? The banner in the case, so what we do is say, all boils down to preparatory work. What is 24-hour economy? 24-hour economy say a banner provided environment being as one, there's going to be reduction in terms of what taxes. Electricity be very able from say they be a private person who be there to expand your production level to be able to employ more abroche what to kwan bebre kasi ye bom ensamrani nyina no it's about the private sector for your country to do well no so expanding the private sector because government sector I here no be to employ you know that I know this so government can say be deliberate policy ye be create congenial environment for the private sector to expand say they be to farm mabuna adwuma to proceed with 24 hours can still he doesn't understand and to want to be ye catch us say ye be ye what call the palm production the finance minister na a project say within the next 4 years period no this boils down to the multi-year in a no while looking at 6.9 billion say they could do 100,000 hectares of palm production say it is going to create about 250,000 jobs. That is the private sector and Chabani ye deliberate say because for you to get good forex no you have to look at what we call your export of what goods that they do Germans no into share a few trade surplus we are doing 7.4 billion.
But wait, the explanation you give relative to the 24-hour economy was that you were one job,
yes,
3 people,
good,
3 shifts.
Yes,
that was the explanation.
Good.
For the ordinary Ghanaian, he's voted for you.
Okay.
He's unemployed. He has the vision, or he's anticipating that Wanya Bedie. If you are employing people into those sectors, at least 3 shifts, and yet they are also how will you explain to that Ghanaian that it is a preparation work that we are doing and the 1 3 is not working?
So you see, once about budget reading, no. Once can say budget now can't anything about say you're employing nurses, no. You see, the finance minister talks about what called bullet items. To be a sectorial minister, no idea what can. Okay, say be launch 24-hour economic document led by Gustando. No be launch here. So now this young one, was he young can okay? Me what I say, minister now allocate 110 million Ghana cedis into the big pool, into the 24-hour economy. Now this is what you do. So now Gustando, once he launch it, Gustando will now come to explain to another catches. Okay, so how 110 million Ghana cedis no, 17 companies and other factories have agree said they want to be subscribe to the policy of 24-hour economy. Then Abana was okay, out of which maybe a Dutch company no we are more 3 million. First no, maybe your capacity was to be for Nipa 10. But now said the Abana Baso was you are expanding it to over for Nipa 15. That does not lie in the mouth of the finance minister to come and tell you. That is the responsibility of Gusitanda or Dano. Okay, Mama, do you understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is money allocated 110 million Ghana cedis no. The Guzitano now come and give us the clear scope as of how it is going to be used. Private sector has been on my agree some but only what is the expansion rate of more year? No first saying they say no there or the become that is what it is. Okay, something about the next that you know. Okay, you go to 2025 budget now. Yeah, wages and salary compensation is around 58 billion Ghana cedis. That's how much Ghana spent by way of paying for compensation and other emoluments. No. This year finance minister now allocated say and that's what say Ghana is going to spend 90 billion Ghana cedis in terms of payment. Do you know what that means? Okay, I say you call and say 9% above for wages to increase the salary workers for
yes.
It tells you that they are not count that should be running around 60. Into other 20 now can 30 now can. It is going to create room for them to employ more jobs. It is now left on the finance, the health minister, and then the education minister. Catch yourself. Okay, pay the finance minister. Bekano. Me negotiation. No. Wa mama clear and say you be for nipa 14,000 and then 17,000. Finance minister na medina floor of parliament the enkasa. So what you say? Education minister. And the Baba catch us okay. Finance minister and mama clearance. Send me for teachers for saying 9,000. All the sectoral minister. It breaks down to the minister, not the finance minister. I hope that they make out myself.
I get you.
Yes. So now, on the issue about economic green, how do they made the channel? Because one, he went said you will be projected, and they were actuals. The all kind he was talking about projections. At forcing why or a deliberate or said that promise or promises small, then he delivers about 4.8. Today, the GDP is growing around 6.8%. Service sector is 8.8% compared to a time 3.9%. These are statements in the budgets. So and come and speak to those things. Who care about the agri sector? Agri sector grew about 6.3%. Do you know what in their time it was? 2.9%. Oba a friend of crops Crops alone grew by 6.6%. Livestock grew about 5.4%. You are talking about fishing. Fishing grew about 7.7%. Far better than what you people did. Who pay MPP on or more best numbers? It was 2017-18. These numbers are making it is far better than those numbers. You are talking about we inherited an economy. The debt to GDP is saying 63%. IMF on the economy, they project say Ghana, you're using 9 years. That's it in you to make sure that our GDP above 45%. Our top force has done that in less than a year. You are talking about what? We inherited an economy. Inflation was hovering around 23.8%.
When you are looking at your GDP, you see most of the time you look at debt to GDP, but look at the whole component. Look at your actual incomes, your tax flow.
Okay.
Then you look at your debt. Then you are able to,
I don't get it. You look at your debt like
so you have your debt.
Precisely.
So you are looking at your debt to GDP. Then you look at the actual projection of your tax income. Right? So you know that if you look at the projection, reach some of the projection, what you think you can get within the year of 2026, people say that no, it is just not realistic.
No, but you see, the reason why say me and Neko projection is say we know we have brought the actuals they will achieve. This is not more say be on Yankan budget no. About 2024 no catch you say I want to do a non-oil GDP of what 4.8%. I want to do GDP of 4%. We no catch you say I've delivered GDP of 6.8%. I've delivered service of 8.8%. Non-oil GDP of more 4.8%. You are talking about projections. You see, there's difference between allocation and actuals. And do person where the real performance of the budget go to the outcomes. Set target now, set amount. I feel we're able to achieve it. You are talking about inflation. At first about my inflation say I feel you want to achieve an inflation of 11.9%. Today inflation is 8%. We are targeting to end the year 6%. At first buy IMF for Emma target say primary surplus. Say 0.4%. You deviated woefully, abysmally, catastrophically to 3.9%. Ato forcing today is doing an excess of primary surplus of 1.6%. Primary surplus a day. You ever say bia sika wonya na oman mu ha no. Wo tete de you are spending aside interest payment now what you get. So once you're into a negative, it means that revenue mobilization, you are not doing well. So when I hear them talk about revenue, say bia ato forces, I laugh.
People will make the argument that look, you are getting all these figures because one, there was a debt restructuring. Now you are not servicing any debt.
No.
And since you are not servicing any debt, you have space to spend.
That you hold it there. One is servicing. They defaulted in debt servicing. We are servicing debt servicing.
Which debt are you servicing?
Defaulting
debt servicing. Do you know only DDP, domestic debt restructuring bond? No? Yes. Do you know how much you have paid for this year? 19.9 billion.
I'm talking about the external.
External, yes. Servicing. We are servicing debt. I am telling you. Do you know why? You see, I've always said so. The economy no, a name no. Who person wa bank here? They see the strength and being disciplined. You see, because your money is sitting in here now. I would say, for the first time, our debt accumulation has run to a negative. I feel positive 19.3 and now but negative 19. You know what that means? Say you call your forest in Nigeria. Once in there, I buy the ban. Why deliberate? Wama acquire for free fertilizers. Wama acquire for size mass spray. So cocoa exports increase here from 698 million Ghana cedis to 2.5 billion Ghana cedis.
And is that you're doing?
Yes, because of the intervention, mass spraying. In their time, they were selling fertilizers. And this is by the moment, mass spraying and natural sprayers, we are giving the farmers. So production certainly will increase. So you don't expect to get good.
But somebody will tell
let
you
me make
that
the point. You see,
in the space of how many months, 10 months or 9 months, you think that Satanaki ebia kuku na mane fifia ma say atia ma bibia. No, it has been the previous government did. You are inheriting the profit of the previous government.
I am telling you, my father is a cocoa farmer. I've lived in the cocoa areas for about 8 years. If you don't, and no one can apply for land, you don't get anything. So I buy now more free for land. How do you expect the cocoa to grow? Do you expect to get bumper harvest? Answer me. Certainly no. But you have a government of the day who is saying that I want to provide a very incentive for the farmers One is to give them fertilizers. Two is to give them nasal sprayers and organized mass spraying for them. These are the things that affect crop production. Government they never free. So certainly production will go high. When you export your goods, it will go high. They are talking about gold, but I work as in most of the reserves by. Therefore, let me correct him. In 2016, we left an international gross reserve of 6,168, which gave us 3 months import cover. Import cover, as I say, say your mind where you jay BBR, say be a revenue, the jata, Besika, bond or bank reserves, a bit more cranium number for 3 months. In 2024, you buy you to an import a gross international reserve of what 8.2 billion. Which also barely gives us what 3 months import cover. It is virtually the same. It's like being a 9 to A, also about 8 A. That is what it means. It's not just about the nominal figures. It's about the amounts of the import cover the amount. That's how it is. Not all can. I am informed my projection say within this year, by even first quarter, second quarter, yeah, adding to our reserves about $694 million. The whole year, $894 million. These are figures in the budget too. This year, you are increasing your reserves about $1.6 billion, which is giving a nearly 5 months of import cover, far exceeding the target set by IMF. The IMF man I catch you say, one more time, no, go and check at the finance minister or say the target given to this people, no, they deviated substantially. You know, it's a corporate body. IMF for NDC and MPB. So for him to use words, it tells you. Because we are giving an inflation, say, do an inflation of 15.4%. One may say they go 23.8%. Do a primary surplus of 0.4%. You miss it and went to negative 3.9%. Why do you want to? Then the question in there was say the Ghanaian cedis on track. And you know what you say, go if you go take your time, read the budget, appreciate it, and you know, say the finance minister of the day there is doing well. All can taxes be? That's in I mean, I'm at say MP for them. Or what they call they round with it. You buy in the castle best scrappy e-levy betting tax until you see a raw Peter to people. There was a friend in the Revenue Administrative Act. That act was passed in Parliament. Say, 6% of our GDP. Near found to us in the Bay. People that do over won't follow more tax they brought on. Be more the minor court until you need for turn and tour until what day or minor court to be ano. Then we give you, we pay it back. What you come on do? Finance minister buy no say over the year period no SASCA no SAR tax now accumulated an amount of 29.1 billion Ghana cedis. Now ohwe no cinema MP before the Kenofrata they use 16%. They use 43% of that amount. They now can 16 billion. And when we said no, I said like it means that the 6% might be too much. Until that will be the case now. May test about 4%. What test SASCA about 4% now? Meaning 2% of 16 billion, a whopping amount of 3.7 billion. Put together, GR reform I say e-levy buy no. Sika yetimajiji 1.9 billion. Betting tax, GR reform Janasa catch say Sika yetimajiji since some pass here, basic time you try no. Sika near 188 million Ghana cedis. Would the meaning by 2.1 billion Ghana cedis. Just way of taking 2% of 16 billion akano, amount 3.7 billion. Do you need that to force here? Or scrappy e-levy. SASCA na can 1.7 no. Or the two additional from road fund. Or more allocated a budget of 1.1 billion for road fund. At to force and buy no, or they call 2.78 billion Ghana cedis. An increment of 155%. As if any enough. Who call school feeding program? One only. Send the microphone and move around bro secondary school. At 2 forces ask can the car or sanso increase school feeding program no more so 1.34 billion. At 2 forces they call 1.78 billion Ghana cedis and their budget no was sanso to they call 1.98 billion Ghana cedis. You are telling me say a man from one chiromo. I see say no now capitation grant or to move from 78 and they call 145 leap. All these are social distance. Go and look at the budget allocation for those things. It's my brother tax in the money. You tax areas that are doing well. Kwahwe omo groove from the buy no. The name ma MPP groove near the good name me one. And I'm so call domestic debt restructuring no. About 37%. In the ever say the war to the cut $10 billion $6 billion is being scrapped away their chow. So it gave them some good boost. And it was the omo groove from largely it was driven by what called the galamsey sector. So sectors that are doing well, you tax them. We are saying that I don't know be better now watching the team. I call we need better over tax no. So or to want to say we have increased this we are in tax the areas that are doing you tax them. That's what it means. So for me to bring my to my road to now kind and this can baby your manifesto you can say you buy the road to bed there back. Nobody if you can show me any video just say and this voice share boss say road to farm back we never
say anything.
No,
say taxes are more there but everything says it
was alluding to the fact the toll booths.
So do you know why I'm bringing that point? It's not a novelty. I didn't hear kind of position. Say your background, you remember. Because one of them do get my point. So it's not like say be say yeah, farm money be a banner say Debo. I don't know if I get what I'm saying. I didn't hear kind of position. Say road to the bar. Yeah, the Baba be. That's why so yeah near there. And I want to know. So see now.
It's a new tax.
And then no, that's a book we were against it. So why would you do that? And you know, Dachi, me an interest say. You don't need to be a finance person to understand auto forcing budget. Obi na no top petrol no e no koto a onim sa auto forcing ye adwuma. Obi na no kɔ dollar akɔ sana yi no e no kɔ a onim sa auto forcing ye den. Hwɛ for the first time in Ghana history say who call the year by year. Yeah, okay, maybe the manusi. Who call year by year CD depreciation. I was a Ghana year redenomination from 2007 be seen no. You see the bia na ho adente about 14%. For the first time cumulatively, the Ghanaian cedi is appreciating against major currency 34%. This can only be the handiwork of Auto Forcing under the strict supervision of none other but his excellency John Dramani Mahama.
That's it.
And you know, see that budget is a budget of hope, a budget of true reflection, and those deception and mischief cannot stand the test of time as far as Auto Forcing budget is concerned.
That's it.
Even as so very bad, I don't know if a second topic in this account because of the time.
All right. So, Minian Kasawa Han, or can single digit to one, and Obaye no, or crazy Auto Forcing. But the IMF inflation, sorry, the IMF car FR inflation who a year 2024. I say, where you City News, a year 18th April 2024. I say Ghana to end 2025 with single digit inflation of 8%. IMF projects 2025. Actually, I said 2025 no because of and she papa 2024. Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo and then finance minister Ayentino. Actually, I said the projection was at 2025 no. You better end up with a single digit.
Christ.
And so what balance ended up with a single digit. It was a good thing
That's why would they allow this to pass?
No, is it not IMF quotation? I'm saying IMF actually said by Nyamia Aduma year 2025 because of the good thing of Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo and the finance minister, you better end up with a single digit.
And I may catch us.
So is it not a fact?
It's not a fact.
So they are lying.
No, listen.
So no, wait. I'm saying san wo mo kai it na che say ye niam bi a papa na the results be bre 2025 ukọ 24-hour economy na minua ne kan ye nua guzita no ote ha no say o baba be ye budget all sectors no omu hia omu tenase na omu ahwe enwuma a obi a be ye eno ne ye fa ni nyina bom de ko budget no enti en kan tire me say ye ready budget ni ni allocate bibi mawa eno na wo ba be tenase na wo de ahye wo project and answer wo de ba be on here.
What you were saying is the nitty-gritties of what will go into every sector, it will form the bullet points of the budget. And it's a finance minister breaking it down. It's okay. Yebema this sector 20,000.
I don't know your common thing that will be any. But 24-hour economy, it was a specific thing I will promise you. We didn't say Mumba or Ghana. I'm Ghana Nibiati 24-hour economy. The assistant say more better than had done in the country. Say it should be a private sector driven. Now government. And I babema 24-hour shift and no one babema.
So can say some of the government sectors to say and you say friends Ghana publishing. Ghana publishing is now running 24 hours.
No, that's it. No, it's not about running the 24-hour economy. Omo ma ban mu no. Na ye wo other institutions are no more running 24-hour economy na dada. But the point is say, who be gina 24-hour economy no so dia mama bura dwuma ye. Na dwuma na omo be ye no. Eye one job for 3 people. Asemu a wo kan ye no no.
It is until me be say you obi to say Ghana Publishing. That's Ghana Publishing say run it 24 hours. Is it to me say Ghana Publishing as a farm crop for twice the
it should be that. It should be and not necessary. Who business say okay say we Ghana publishing. Omo afa nipa omo wo nipa bi 50,000 and omo wo ho omo ye adwuma. Okay, yan fan say 50,000. Who ti me for 50,000 ni at once. It is 50,000 na wo no. Yetimi afa nipa be say 10,000 e dia ka ho. It is say sa adwuma ba ko ana say adwuma 10. Yan fan say adwuma 10,000. Ya fa nipa 3 and omo yes adwuma. Na say going forward no you expect say maybe 3 years 4 years no 50,000 omo ho omo ye adwuma you be 100,000. What you say? But enya wa no keke say obeba be ka kire say omo run 24-hour economy no. How? Human hin wo mo nya wo ho mo de run 24-hour economy. And I say ordinary Ghanaian no onam no. Nenti ase a wo kire mu ma ne ti ase. And we have all the videos. You are president and ministers akese and no opposition. Etc 24-hour economy no. The simple put to say minimum ati hai. And wo adwuma ba ko nipa miensa ne beye. Nipa miensa ne 8 hours. That was what you told Ghanaians. Then wo baba bedane no. In Guzitano TN Guzitano ka for 24-hour economy no. We GH1 or say the 24-hour economy journey will be difficult one. 24-hour economy will be difficult one. It's and just simple as send omo opposition now. Omo catch Ghana for man Ghana for you omo gidie to about the moment. Because any visible sir, and you visible so betimi I employ nipa 3 shifts ever 1 job. And you possible. But omo de bedada Ghana for did to me. Say you're possible crowns I will say okay a 24-hour economy a 4 years duration and you 1 year crowd my antias here say there is a process ye de niam egu akwam a sa shift na ye ka ho asem na ya de a next year ye ba be ye wo so allocate 110 million 110 million now wo kan no e for feasibility studies and I say omo eno so omo de kwa akoye pro foundation omo de kwa set and san ya be fa dwuma 110 no na say so person my entire say enipa he na ye de fa wo adwuma because 24-hour economy no again ni nyina ne say ye adwuma o Ghana for again ni nyina ne say 24-hour economy na ye jobs.
That's it.
I'm no. Unless you say I'm understanding, no, and they will understanding about 24-hour economy, no, and you're different. I mean, that's
I say 24-hour economy, no, and your jobs. Sa no omo ma yeti ase nti Ghana fo nyina nim se me ye adwuma ba ko a me nya minuanu mienu aba be kana ho ne aye se adwuma no nti se Ghana Publishing for so omo start 24-hour economy omo ma ye hu nipa dodo a omo afo omo adwuma because the simple way in economics and say demand and supply. It means say bia Ghana Publishing Company no omo demand the cost ro enti omo nya so omo befa nipa bebre enti no omo run 24-hour enti say wo run 24-hour economy dia and I say 24-hour institution dia meaning say what me employ nipa bebre or 24-hour economy mo promise say some of the beba okay mass spray you have yen nyina yet Ghana ha say o ka mass spraying new patriotic party amanyuku and the mass spraying by what opposition as NDC no na say mu ni clue bia when it comes to mass spraying say cocoa sector and then we say mo na mo ye mass spraying but who ba beto mass spraying fertilizer nze
me say wo ba be one fertilizer we say mass spraying and am say wo ba beto mass spraying e koso wo ba ya wo so wo na the mass spraying by and mass spraying no cry started the 4 time. Wo buy ya wo atamens ne John Dramani Mahama buy wo mu ja mass spray kura na nkoso yɛba ya ne yɛsa bɛhyɛ mu kena yɛyɛ mass spray ɛma cocoa farmers ho ato wɔ mu ɛnɛ wo ba na sɛ nyame ayɛ adom wo to aso a wo bɛbɔ wo ho asafo hene sɛ wo na wode mass spray na ɛba no problem taxes na meka yɛ no asɛm a meka yɛ ne sɛ wo promise sɛ yɛnka asɛm bi atofo se kura sa ka yɛyi ne minister no ɔse we can raise revenue without increasing taxes atofo se wey yɛ city news yɛyi na no granting interview ɔse no as a finance person no they don't think say we have to introduce new taxes they can raise the revenue net abema yenya more revenue without increasing different taxes. This is what your minister said,
and it's true.
And he has increased 6 different taxes. So why is it true? That's just what intro.
Only intro.
What say you have what it takes to open the tax net to get more revenue. Not just say yadi I expect to say what the different tax be abeba.
On five different tax be abeba.
Do you love yadi?
Why be the
energy sector energy what's it energy sector levy the any tax. Is it not a tax? You are a finance person, right?
No, I'm not.
You are not. So is it not a tax? So what the taxes are every waba road to asem na meka no. Wo ba no. Ye ne na me person me tron say wo ba ba mu no. Na ye ni tax bia ye friend road to because na ye free wo. And na wo hente wo opposition say wo the road tax be. Ye new tax a wo dey aba this time around because wo ba no na sa tax na ni wo. Enti wo the road to no aba me person just say ye new tax because wo ba ye no na sa tax na ni ye free one na wo dey aba.
First man me
What I say? Me ba. First me second topic no. Second topic no na I mentioned
you go for Makofa ex bust.
Yes, maybe
no almost had a court looking at their bail conditions near the other.
That's it. Me one thing that I believe in is a former appointee. As I've always said, you don't have to run from accountability. Come and account for your stewardship. But you see, when you say na mo NDC for no, omo create anomaly be say ye thieves. Appointees no ye thief. Yeah kasa brami rehwe wasem a. That thing no wonya kromfo. Allege something near the atoso. Until proven guilty no ye be court. Near all allege no so oba be prove court. So why are they running and head scatter say yes will be ko yo kontie? What is that? Ye best say your former appointees no. Yes rew. Adwuma bi abaye o mamu ha nyina na ye wo personal company. Aye o man adwuma na ye de wo to ano say ye. It is why ye o man adwuma wie na aban foforo aba. Na bia wa ba ba hwehwe booksum na niema bi twetwe na so enko ne yie. Na wo se bra na be account a this be a problem? Any problem? It's your best say mfa process no so mfa nchi nipa no a no na problem. But if they are using the normal process, na so mfa so no they are arrest. Near say bra na be hwehwe nsem a yema wo man no institutions ni nyaduma because eneme no ka say enra OSP and the charges and the about Kenofori after nipa miensa nipa nson. Yes. Yeah, that is the good one because at least they will have their way to prove they are innocent in court. And you better than say you be declare will be fugitive, you be extradition say you two will be abra. You prefer charges be against those people. It is a ban say me I have no problem. Omoma institutions in Yaduma, who call Nasa Uhusua, who call baby, Saosha Nasa, who knew soon Nasa, what they won't suffer from my Nisicum, never see a discount back, and I say, I do could young Faunco, a best seller as deterrent, and they are 2 Hamagana for say, I do a buy, I do maybe shown, sir, obey Yadumani ye, I will say, and you are my Yaduman and your personal company. That's it. That's
it. My main fact, just some 2 minutes and read your kind of funnel. My name Santia says MPP back 2017 omo promise e be say omo the free senior high school beba omo promise planting for food and jobs me person be say anya bia na before say police na beba no na ye nko school na ye nko school planting for food and jobs na ye ndo na ye ndo
HSB anyo
na no be na nko school
e school dey say na ye ko
dey me can trust nyina say policy ade a aban na sheda e de ba say me the niema ABC e tu akwam Senebeya Adama na ye industry players say they can expand their production. that is basically policy nti na ekwe for do to the planning for food and jobs ba then obey you bring more fertilizer for farmers to expand the agricultural production range. That is what policy simply means. Mama Sama won't say Gusitano Abel Lanchi, the policy document for 24-hour economy. Finance minister allocated 110 million Ghana cedis at the core. Gusitano me baba betray say me catch yourself the edikan mama the edikan wo ya mama ni GN say one me ka say ye in our manifesto no ye ka say 70% in the private sector and no me no gitum say sa na twere we manifesto no say 70% was going to be largely driven by the private sector it ya dey ho. So now Gusitano me baba catch yourself say Tobinko ese obeye 24-hour economy no the production no for deeper 400 but now so person subscribe to the 24-hour economy e be meters e dey man na be running in the night no and never low until no the production rate no from 400 or they call 900 abai so na say 10 million Ghana cedis uko NS chemisa sa na no so be den obeye all the various private sector some person that should be the norm and no is not in the finance minister na mekasa Gusitano na beba be chie scientist no. The only thing I also can say, Omuma and no nakle, and no come no better me support you. Me no na me no me person who be support me. Ya me person me tell say 24-hour economy na basically in Ghana frontier sense e jobs. Better jobs. Now the obe expand. It is sad job no. Sad job now so be no. Ghana ni bi eni won mo a ono wo pese obe so obeye nurse, obeye teacher, obabeye ebi a Western housing worker and now say information ministry worker. It won say sa position na wo ho no enipa miensa ba be ye wa sa na mo ka kire yan kina ma yan kan sa me say you say 70% say private sector was there and private sector benefit etu aye mo tete mo mo de ma 24-hour economy no say constitution me come say me say that you know what fit dey ko akire ye can say 70% is going to be driven by the private sector e dey da ho. So what have you done for the private sector this time? So that's what I've made that those are the no mo be fa ni pa 3 on one job nana. Yes. It is you won't say you won't know. No, but you won't say what's what you say what's and on the government side they need a young sir. What's the private 30% no? Eh, your government na be employ woman no. Ah, what you have to say private sector na be for one job with 3 people no. And then the government 30% on fa. Passport we get here with that's no cancer. It's the person no passport. What I'm saying is and that's in the more chance no. Your mandate in 1 year. A 4-year period. Okay. Until you back 2028, ebe bu akunda magana for. You can raise those eligibility. I will raise here. Samete wasiye year. I will raise here. Mami will. Mami samete wasiye. Mami ko. Mami kama say. Who raise here? Will give you the one all the answers you need. Now, remember, Asemba course I can Roto put any medical deal with it that I say. The idea of Mucha with the Cassie the band new tax. New tax. Yeah. Oh, but maybe I don't know what to say. You see, what's the Ghana for to about my? And what do you catch Romo? Ye ba ya ye catch mo say roto na wo twa mo no ye ba ye de beba na wo ba no wo catch say wo di deal bi beba deal bi sisi na ma me ba what ka deal bi see utie one maga wo catch COVID-19 time no wo maga na for free light sa yi ni nyina I chuko mo de COVID level ko ba ma ye twa no sense doors that wo mo sa yi ni nyina you no paying the IPBs ye ba ko ECG kwan ka mo de 68 billion Ghana cedis. Finance minister didn't make a budget allocation last year 28 billion Ghana cedis. So why don't you open the tax net? IPBs no need you can call 1.7 billion US dollars IPPs. What is a light day twa Ghana system the energy sector net here you to fuel the man you start power producers for the power light the man light me na ejije no and to to fuel no and the bia no we only and I say Ghana have to cover about 1.4 billion of money to go and buy fuel. Until you buy the car, okay, okay, the energy, the car with that on 68 billion, and yeah, they don't say, and then dollar number from us a petrol in the boatia, and the moon one seed in there, never find the young and you see the changes there. For the first time, ECG, they're making profit. Profit of what? No ECG, or more revenue. I'm talking about taxes. It's not about the explanation. The good reforms, yeah, you are making a profit of 1.9 billion Ghana cedis. The energy sector, they're from what they say, no. Who can say renegotiation? Renegotiation, no. 1.4 no you say na you trend in legacy debt too this year we try 300 million US at the moment and you know it is neither here nor there. We are not.
With this thing that you are sweating, I'm only talking about taxes. And you have G11 na tax.
Petrol na meto petrol around a liter around 15 cedi. Then there's about from abedu 11 Ghana cedi. Na abane say for one cedi count na you find energy because for money be ko year na you need the energy sector for you to run production.
It's abane say tax on energy. Enya sa. Was financial adama yen. So me say tax. Any tax now the aba. Why introducing new tax? What's the one tax here? Who explain the taxes? Meanwhile, a tax I would the aba now who explain it.
Ben, obviously, I said that tell the MPP man that it's better to tax mining companies than to tax e-levy.
Yes, I understand. That one, I'm only saying new taxes.
It's an increment. The only new tax
so it is an expansion of
a tax.
Yes, not an introduction of a new tax. It's
no,
not. Yes, the only new tax is levy. The only tax on gold. You 1.5%.
The common thing is oba na tax bi wo ho na tax ne ye 1%. Who di bia be kan unti why expanded the tax net? Meanwhile no who catch there you say you people have what it takes to raise the revenue net. I am a concord different taxes
just 30 seconds.
So yes you are deceiving
30 seconds.
You have deceived us. So tax meanwhile no why introducing new taxes?
Yeah, but two arrest inquire about 68 billion Ghana cedis between. By way of vigilance, do you know how much I save Ghana? 10.4 billion Ghana cedis. How much are we making from this tax?
So are you saying say are you saying say buy am to